our honored guest for tonight, from Worcester, Massachusetts, Mrs. Iris Ann Ward. Is Mrs. Ward? Let's stand here just for a moment. Good evening, Miss Ward. Good evening. My name is Edward. Now, Miss Ward, I'm sure that our audience would be interested in knowing. I know it's wrong to ask a young girl how old she is, but do you mind if I ask you how old you are?
No, I don't mind.
Would you mind telling us how old are you?
95 years old.
95 years young. You were born into slavery while Abraham Lincoln was president.
Yes, second year of war.
As a matter of fact, you've lived through the administrations of half the presidents of the United States. This is one of the times we have told our subject about recreating her life, ladies and gentlemen. But Mrs. Ward does not know who's to appear on our stage here. So come along and sit down, Mrs. Ward. You sit right over there on that sofa. Your multitude of friends in Worcester call you Grandma Ward. Do you suppose it'd be wrong if I called you Grandma Ward? Sit here. Anything I want. That's pretty... You've given me quite a leeway there, you know. All right. How did you make the trip out here from Worcester, Grandma Ward?
On an airplane.
This was your very first trip in an airplane?
It was all right, but I couldn't hear when I got off the airplane. I couldn't hear nothing.
Oh, you couldn't? That changed in a few minutes, didn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I was trying to make TWA happy. I was on flying. What an adventurous spirit at the age of 95, eh? Now, we got a little stool for you to put your feet under. Yeah. Not the shoe. Might be a little fall, this bench. We learned about you, Grandma Ward, through a letter written to This Is Your Life. We like to do the lives of the people who are written into it. But this was written in by one of your neighbors who lives in the same housing project, the Great Brook Valley Gardens in Worcester. And here is that admiring neighbor, Mrs. Vera Teichmuller. Here is Vera Teichmuller. Come you sit here, Mrs. Teichmuller. This is the first of many surprises for you, Grandma Ward.
I'm so surprised.
Mrs. Teichmuller, in your letter, you told us how much Grandma Ward does for her neighbors. Now, why are you grateful to her?
Mr. Edwards, I was operated on for cancer, and I had lost everything I had in the flood, even a decorating business. So Grandma always helps me and comforts me, and she says, when I go to her, she always tells me, Vera, you have forgotten how to pray right. Now you just take your troubles to the Lord and leave them there. And after that, I feel real good, huh? I feel better again.
A seedling planted so many years ago is at 95, a vigorous tree giving freely its fruits of wisdom. In a few moments, we will relive the life of Mrs. Iris Ann Ward, born a year before the Battle of Gettysburg, when this country had but 34 states. Meanwhile, here's exciting news from Liquid Trail for all you women who want hair that's radiantly alive. Hair that looks radiantly alive makes a woman feel radiantly alive. Now at last, there's a liquid shampoo that's extra rich to give your hair that radiantly alive look. It's new Liquid Trail. New Liquid Trail does wondrous things for hair. There's a glorious difference between Liquid Trail and all other shampoos. New Liquid Trail is extra rich. That's why it leaves hair looking radiantly alive. Some other shampoos are thin and watery, some too thick and sticky. They can actually dull your hair. But extra rich Liquid Trail is just right, with radiant beauty in every drop. To keep your hair looking radiantly alive, use extra rich Liquid Trail. Now, thank you very much, Bob Warren. If it gets chilly, you fellas can put the coat back on there. Mrs. Iris Ann Ward, Grandma Ward, before we journey back 95 years to the beginning of your eventful life, a life begun in slavery, we have another pleasant surprise for you. 4 of the many neighbors' children who cluster around you in your little apartment in Worcester, Massachusetts, and whom you so dearly love. And here they are. First, Idella Hazard, and her brother Louie. There's Louie, and here's Idella. Got to see them all. And here's Gina Teichmuller. You know Gina, of course. And her brother, Winston Teichmuller. Oh, my. Idella, why do you love Grandma Ward? How about you, Gina? Is that right, Winston?
She gives us cookies and she's always nice to us.
Oh, yes, she is. And you, Louie?
Grandmother, she always says honor your father and your mother.
Uh-huh. Well, you've always held that living up to the fifth commandment